What's up, guys? Boy Benny. Don't fight a pig in the mud. Maybe your grandpa said that. What does he mean? Pretty obvious. The pigs are raised in the mud, they're born in the mud, they live in the mud. If the pig's gonna fight, it would prefer to be in the mud. It has the greatest advantage inside of the mud. I was born and raised in the briar patch kind of thing, right? They don't fight people on their home turf with their own built-in advantages. This is why Republicans should have never said yes to the ABC News debate moderated by one of Kamala Harris's Yaya sorority sisters and produced by one of Kamala Harris's best friends that set her up with her husband. Like, this is an obvious home field advantage for Kamala Harris and intended to destroy Trump on Kamala Harris's home field advantage. Obviously, right? It's like the built-in advantage. This is also the reason why Republicans should not engage in identity politics attacks. Like, we shouldn't even acknowledge it. Okay? Like, the conversations about Kamala Harris's race, I think, are deeply irrelevant, but also like fighting the pigs in the mud. The left is creating and regularly fomenting racial hatred in this country. Identitarian politics is all they have. They don't have any solutions for people. Like, why is food so expensive? Why is gas so expensive? Why can't I find a job? Why can't I afford a house? These are problems that affect Black, white, Hispanic, purple people in this country. They affect everyone. Like, that's a universal problem. We don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about like little issues, like what somebody said about Kamala Harris's race. It is not helpful. It doesn't go at the problem. And when you don't have solutions to real problems, then you want to talk about trivial things. You know, Barack Obama was president for 8 years, Black. Kamala Harris was vice president for the last 4 years. Like, I think that says good things about America, I think, right? And should also close the chapter on us trying to use identity politics every single election. But this is what you use. These are the war they wish to fight, in identity politics war on their turf, on their home field advantage, because they made up the rules of the identity politics game. So Republicans should just basically not play it, right? Yeah. The reason we're having this conversation is twofold. One, President Trump walked into the National Association of Black Journalists in Chicago a couple weeks ago. President Trump is an absolute savage for doing this. Kamala Harris actually canceled on them. Donald Trump actually did the interview, and it went amazing. From the get, the interviewer jumped on President Trump, and just started proverbially, metaphorically, just stabbing the guy. You're racist. You're racist. You're racist. You're racist. You want to talk about like people who are racializing everything in the country? Like, this is how you actually get to a point where no one can see anything other than race.
Addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe Black district attorneys. You've attacked Black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking Black supporters to vote for you, why should Black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the Black population of this country. I've done so much for the Black population of this country.
Listen to them applaud Trump.
Including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for Black workers and Black entrepreneurs. I've done so much, and, you know, and I say this, historically Black colleges and universities were out of money. They were stone cold broke. And I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late. Just so we understand, I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working or something was
Mr. President,
wrong.
I would love you to
Okay, so anyway, the mogging of the century, right? Mogged. Okay, we'll make a new adverb on this program. So here is Donald Trump doing just a remarkable job defanging this vicious, venomous question. Now, in the course of this interview, President Trump was asked a trick question, effectively, about Kamala Harris and her heritage. Now, this should immediately ring an alarm bell for you and say, wait a second, it's a trap, right? Like anything I say here is designed to try and get me to play an identity politics game, and I shouldn't play that. I'm not going to play it. I refuse, in fact, to play this. And this is what led to the commentary, Donald Trump saying, well, I'm not sure. Kamala Harris seems to pick and choose which part of her race she wants to highlight at any given time. Now, you can go back and see here. Don't get mad at me. It's not my fault for noticing that the AP runs with headlines like this. California Kamala Harris becomes first Indian American U.S. Senator. Go talk to the AP. Go. Who's protesting the AP? Is anybody protesting the AP right now? Kamala Harris has got 7.7 million views, right? Kamala Harris doing entire mini documentaries about her Indian heritage. Okay. Like nobody's questioning that or trying to like weaponize that. But that means you don't get like an opportunity to get like vicious and angry at Janet Jackson, who straight up like says what she believes. Janet Jackson says Kamala Harris is not black. That's what I heard, that she's Indian. Well, I mean, I dare you to go back and watch like interviews like this where Kamala Harris says just that, or like there's hours of interviews from Kamala Harris in her early career. We had Harmeet Dillon on our program who's known Kamala Harris for 25 years. Harmeet Dillon is a proud Indian American and is somebody who really detailed how Kamala Harris plays whatever side of the spectrum or card that she needs to get power. It's amazing. Vivek Ramaswamy sounded off on this. Pop singer Janet Jackson, sister of Michael Jackson, issued her comments about the vice president race in wide-ranging interview with The Guardian on Sunday. Well, you know what they supposedly said? She's not black. That's what I heard. That she's Indian, said Jackson. When the interviewer corrected the singer by noting that Harris is both black and Jamaican, both Jamaican and Indian, Jackson pushed even further, saying the vice president's father was white. Her father was white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days, but that's what I'm told. Okay. All right. Well, this is what Janet Jackson said. Now you can tell that, of course, the sacred cow, the sacred pig of identity politics has been affronted because of the media reaction here. Janet Jackson, interviewer, says she heard Kamala Harris is not black, echoing election disinformation. Janet Jackson echoes false claims. Janet Jackson questions whether Kamala Harris is black. Maybe we should stop listening to celebrity. Like maybe you stop asking celebrities and musicians political questions. Have you ever thought of that? Janet Jackson's getting slammed for ignorant and disappointing comments. Janet Jackson not walking back Kamala Harris comments despite reports. Oh, yeah? What are the reports? The reports is that Janet Jackson has straight up said, no, I'm not going to apologize. I'm actually going to fire my publicist who tried to apologize. Janet Jackson fired the publicist who apologized in the media on behalf of her in regards to Kamala Harris. She is not playing around about this. She said what she said, and she meant it. Like, hold on. Okay, so all we hear day and night is about how we need to like listen to black women. Well, okay, here's a black woman. Now everyone's going to like try and cancel Janet Jackson because we listened to her and you didn't like what she had to say? Janet Jackson questions Kamala Harris's race. Whoa. Backlash after claims about Kamala Harris's heritage. Amazing how people don't actually jump into Kamala Harris's heritage. Here from the Daily Mail. Kamala Harris's great-great-great-grandfather was a notorious Irish slave owner who bought Jamaican plantation and traveled to London to fight abolition, historian claims. Oh, interesting. Kamala Harris descended from an owner of 120 plus slaves who ran a Jamaican plantation, fought against the abolition of the abhorrent trade, British historian claimed. Democrat would be president of Indian and Afro-Jamaican descent, late mother, and while her father, Donald Harris, is from Jamaica. The vice president's father, Stanford University academic, who's also a Marxist, born in Brownstown, a Caribbean island named for Hamilton Brown, who's believed to be Kamala Harris's slave-owning great-great-grandfather. Can we get a DNA test on that? The article published by the Jamaican Globe in 2019, Kamala Harris's father wrote a book, My Roots Go Back Within My Lifetime to my paternal grandmother, Miss Critchie, descendant of Hamilton Brown, who's on record a plantation slave owner, the Brownstown in Jamaica. So her father admits this. Northern Irish historian Stephen McCracken says that Brown was a notorious slave owner, not a nice fellow, who was born in Antrim, settled in Jamaica, actually thought this was going to be a nice story, all of whom have links, but it wasn't, he said. Oh, okay. Iris Finnegan holds her great-granddaughter, Kamala Harris. Finnegan? Oh, my. Okay. All right. There's the plantation. And you could go ahead and see that Kamala Harris, I mean, trust the science, right? Trust the science. I hate playing this game because it's like blood libel, really, you know? Like blood libel. Like this is the guy, you know? This is like the Irish guy. Apparently great-great-great-grandfather, right? You just like it's blood libel. So Kamala Harris had nothing to do with this and shouldn't be judged by it, just like everyone else for the actions of their great-great-great-great-grandfather. But it is particularly rich when you have people like The View questioning the heritage of Republican candidates when they need to play the race card, and then screaming and frothing at the mouth when you question the heritage of a Democrat.
Haley's gone by Nikki since she was a child. It's documented in high school. I wouldn't be shocked that as an Indian woman growing up in South Carolina at that time, she actually did to avoid prejudice. So I just want to be careful about critiquing her for going by the name she's always gone by.
There's some of us that can be chameleons and decide not to embrace our ethnicity so that we can pass.
Honey, I don't think that's fair.
Necessary. I think if she leaned into...
A ton of people don't go by their color.
Wait, serious. I think to question someone's racial identity, especially him, the bar has fallen so low.
Yeah.
Attacking Nikki Haley and then saying, how dare you question someone's racial identity? Strangely, it's Whoopi Goldberg who's up here defending Janet Jackson, saying, why are you asking these celebrities like political questions? I think that maybe gets actually more to the point than anything else.
This much air.
But well, unfortunately, no, well, right? hold on. Yeah, she's got a phone. Janet Jackson is not a political animal. Yeah. She's a musician. Her life is doing this, and she's mourning her brother. Mm-hmm. So
that's right.
I sometimes have said stuff, and I was wrong. But people want you to say something right away, but when people are coming at you saying, hey, you're not paying, you're dumb, you don't know, you don't want to answer people, especially if...
And you're afraid you'll get it wrong in answer.
And it is a pain in the butt, I have to tell you.
So very interesting. Stop asking celebrities political questions. Good point. And why don't we actually talk about policy? Stop asking Trump about this either. Stop asking Kamala about it. I think everybody... I'm going to speak for the vast majority of people in this country when I say that we would be really happy to not have identity politics shoved down our throats and be treated like the number one issue in America when it's not. The number one issue in America for all of us is how the hell can we even like afford to live? And will we have a future in this country as tax cattle for a globalist empire? Or would it like be nice to have America first here? That's something that we can all agree on. And it'd be nice to see that. So stop asking dumbass musicians like what their opinion is on things, and you'll probably stop getting dumbass answers. And also, like, how about you stay consistent? Stay consistent in what the rules are, huh? Can we just like establish that? And maybe the rules should be that America's like the best country in the world, and we should stop hyper psychosexually obsessing over everyone's race. Because that always ends terribly. That actually ends really bad. Are you the baddie? Yeah. Are we the baddie, Hans? Yeah. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. We're not the baddies.